They are on fire. The Sharks win their third straight. Yes, it's a two-game sweep of the Ducks. They win tonight 3-1. We're here to break it down and get you ready for a great hockey week ahead. This is Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is Saturday night, March 13th, 2021. The Sharks take two in Disneyland as they take down the Ducks 3-1. Welcome to this edition of Teal Town After Dark. We do this after every single Sharks game, home and away, and we are glad to teal together with you. So be a part of the show. You can interact with us and fellow Sharks fans on the page or the app. Of course, follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, Reddit, and of course our Discord after the game and after the show. And find everything here at tealtownusa.com. You got the Eriks again. That's right. Unfortunately, Erik Karlsson didn't score tonight. Dang it. Oh, well. Joined by Erik Landi.
Right. It's the Erik and Erik show, right? Talking about Erik. No, it was a good win. It took, I think that this one, I think, has a little bit more, for me at least, a little bit more satisfaction because it was a little closer. It was a little bit more contested. And it was good to see the team not kind of sag after a win. So for me, I thought it was maybe a little bit more impressive than the 6-0 win.
Yeah, I agree with that, and you can definitely. There's a number of ways you'll win games, but definitely can see this team playing with a little more confidence, playing with a little more step in their game. I think it looks really good to see what this team is doing right now, and to go 3 in a row is nice, and it's a big confidence boost. At the same time, you are playing the Anaheim Ducks. This is a team that you should be beating. And to go into Anaheim, score 9 goals in 2 nights while only allowing 1. And honestly, I don't know what the bigger one would be, is that you score 9 goals offensively or you just allow 1 where you've just been getting ripped apart. Honestly, just getting ripped apart, not just through the media, but by fans alike saying, make a save, for crying out loud.
Yeah, no, I mean, this was a good bounce back for Jones. And I thought he was very athletic in the net. And honestly, he looked like a player that needed to prove something tonight and prove that he has a place on this team because, quite frankly, we were questioning whether or not to even just jettison him within the season because of how many issues that he's had. So
Right.
It was good to see that the team really rally around him defensively. They didn't seem to really change their style or approach with him in the net. So meaning just that their confidence, could be a little bit shaken if you had Jonesy in the net. So it was good to see that they did not really change all that much. That being said, like you said, we have to temper our expectations and we have to temper, we have to temper what we're thinking here because it is the Ducks. And, again, like we said yesterday, it is a rebuilding phase for them. And, like I have said, it's a game by game mentality for me. I think even the bigger thing, Erik, that is kind of a little bit lost in the subtext of this game, but overall the team is back to 500.
Yeah,
and that is just incredible to see, them kind of coming out of that funk. Now this is the time where you start to build on that, and if you can get on a roll here. You've got some momentum going into Vegas. It looks like maybe they've grown a pair with Gabriel kind of being out there and playing every day and Šimik showing, his physical self. Knyzhov has been really dominant physically. Handemark is a big dude, like they were saying on the telecast tonight. I mean, it's just they added some poundage, and they added poundage quickly. And is it a coincidence that they are playing better because of that? I don't know. I want to see this versus Vegas, and I think that will really show me. Okay, were these tune-up games against the Ducks a cure to the ills, or is this just masking more serious problems that only a true contender can show you? So again, I think, like you said, we have to temper the expectations in the streak itself. But I've got some good positive vibes going now. I don't think, it's as doom and gloom from my perspective.
No, I don't think it's a doom and gloom per se. I mean, yes, it's a 3-game win streak. Yes, you've only given up 1 goal. Yes, you've scored 9. You got a couple of guys that have been on the schneid, like Dylan Gambrell getting on the goal scoring tonight. Last night you saw Erik Karlsson starting to show signs that he is getting better. You know, the there isn't a quit on this team, and I think we saw that early on in the season, where it's just started to have that struggle, and you just can't have that. And then you start to see them coming together. And Jordan Furtado, you make a great point on here, and we'll go to the chat here and there, folks. And we welcome those of you who were watching the post game. We appreciate you joining us. Hit that subscribe button. That really helps us out big time. But Jordan's saying that's fine as statistics, but they came back from 3 goals down in Vegas. Yes, they would lose in overtime, of course, and climb back into the Blues game and then put up 6 against the Avs. They have shown some signs of improvement. Yes, not all of those were victorious, but they are showing that step. And I think more than anything, with DW saying this is a reset, you need those little steps to get to where you're going. Like, I mean, honestly, that's what you need to do and get going. Apparently, it's now Landi's Lucky Flow or Landi's Luscious Lettuce. You're getting all kinds of love for the flow, bud. You gotta love it. I don't know. We might have to put up a poll. Which flow is better? That's come up all of a sudden. Yours, Brody's, or even Roy Sommers. I didn't know Roy was letting it flow out so much. But let's recap this one as the Sharks play their second game of back-to-backs against Anaheim. Hanakba takes a penalty for tripping. Then Patty takes a penalty near the end of that power play for San Jose. And of course, as the penalty's expiring, Kane breaks up the power play, has like a 3-on-1, takes the shot himself. His 11th goal this season. Goals in back-to-back games. Throw in the game-winning goal against St. Louis earlier in the week. The guy is on a roll. I think he's got like 13 points in his last 7 games.
I just see him playing with a no holds bar, fuck you attitude to everybody. And excuse my language, but honestly, he's got that piss and vinegar kind of game back, and it's really good to see, because when he's on his game like that, whew, he is a wrecking ball. And when you've got him and Meyer and Hurdle going all at the same time, and you start bearing down on those defensemen, and then you can start playing lower and lower into the zone, which is the way that the team is designed to be playing, to kind of lower into the zone, cycle low to high kind of play, to get it back to their superstar defensemen. So when you've got the wrecking balls going, it's good to see. And it's good to see that, like I had said and mentioned a little bit earlier, when all of this personal matters kind of came into the season, and there were questions and all that, and I said, I hope that he uses hockey as his sanctuary. And what did Randy say right before pregame is he's seeing Evander use the ice as his refuge, his safe place. And I think it's doing wonders for his game right now. And I want him to continue that. I mean, I think if you take that in and he can get, bear down on Marchessault or bear down on Petro or Pacioretty, that is really what is going to make the team be effective against Vegas.
Right.
But again, it's the consistency. The points are coming now in bushels for him and Banker, which is good to see. And let's make sure that we continue this mojo going into Vegas.
Yeah, and way to have the mojo going. I mean, like we said, you came back against Vegas last weekend. You win in overtime against St. Louis. You get these 2 wins against Anaheim. You have a little bit of confidence. You're healthy. Let's also look at that. You're healthy, and everybody doing a good job, and not taking Evander not taking dumb penalties. And I kind of like what you said there, Landy. He used it as a sanctuary, and I think for all of us fans, sports and hockey in particular, this case with the Sharks, is that distraction from things that are going on in our world. That's what they could use, and I think that is something to use tonight. I mean, shoot, I'm looking at the stats here. They won the face-off battle. I mean, they won the freaking face-off battle, 55-45.
Let's just run through the stats then. I mean, shots on goal 33-27, face-off 55-45. The power play, we'll talk about that a little bit later. I have some thoughts there. They kept the penalty minutes to a minimum. They only took 3 minors. The hits were pretty dead even, and Anaheim is notorious for being one of those homer friendly arenas where they pad up the hits for the Ducks. I swear sometimes them and choosing the 3 stars is just completely asinine there, but whatever. Blocks, the Sharks out block the Ducks. The giveaways, that to me is still a key indicator of the team maybe trying to be a little bit too pretty or not hanging on to the puck as well as they should. I saw some good signs from the lower lines tonight that we're not making as many, mental mistakes in the giveaway game. But, to have 16 giveaways, not good.
Yeah, and that's the tough part. It's not all perfect. There's still room to improve. I mean, this team isn't exactly perfect in every acceptable way. Yeah, 0 for 4 in the power play tonight. We'll get to that. I mean, they were 2 for 2 last night, so you take 2 for 6 for the weekend, and you go from there. I mean, honestly, you are. This team is working hard. I mean, even freaking Ryan Donato, who didn't hit 10 minutes tonight, definitely was out there trying his best. He got the assist on the Gambrell goal. It's just to make sure that this team is going where they're going to go. But moving onward, that first period was just mired in just penalties. I think there was like 5 minors in there, and it kind of got sloppy early on. But then it started to open up in the second period. Max Jones, his fourth to tie it at 1. That was probably the one blemish that Jones had tonight, and I don't know. It just looked like he just missed it on the far side.
Yeah, I mean, it's a far side goal, so he's kind of hugging his post just a little too much in that. But I mean, again, you've got a guy cutting through the center of the slot, and it can be difficult to kind of judge just how far you need to be, towards that, hugging that net, because you don't want him to go short side either. So, okay, I would tend to maybe put this one more on the defense. The pinch or that kind of ill-timed Um, changing of the rear guard was not good. Again, Erik, we talk about the little things like the face-offs, and we talk about the ability to change lines frequently and efficiently. And this one was they got caught a little bit there, and I think the other thing too was Šimek. Um, I don't think he's still 100% on that knee, because he looked pretty slow tracking back. Although Jones is a freaking speedster and a Team USA product, so um, that kid's got some jets.
Yeah.
But I put that more on the defense than I do on Jones, unfortunately.
So that was made it 1-1. Labanc would get the game winner. Not even would they would respond back. That's the one thing about it, is that they would respond back. Not even a minute. Labanc, with Hurdle, and I forget who else was he with tonight.
Ferraro. It was Ferraro factored in on the assist, but the line sign it was Hurdle and Timo and
Banker.
Nieto.
Oh,
Nieto.
My bad.
Yeah, Kevin has stayed. That those three have stayed pretty consistent between Kevin, Logan, and Evander. So, what had happened was that was right after, I believe it was a penalty kill, and they had kind of shuffled some of the forwards in and out. It was either that or a line change.
Oh, yeah,
But
and sorry to interrupt you there, but yeah, Couture had some banged up. I looked at it, and he missed the first half of the second period, so that's where that kind of changed things. And Bugner, as we're getting comments out of the locker room, Couture got banged up. We had to go to three centers for a bit. I don't think he'll miss any games for it. I think, you see that, and it goes a long way. It goes a long way that, this team, even though their leader's missing, they step up, and they stepped up tonight in the last few games, for sure. So, kudos to them.
I see a team a little bit more. I'd say a little bit looser. I'd say that the guys are. I don't know. I just kind of look at their faces when like Erik scores, right? And there seems to be a little bit. Yeah. Well, I'm merely speaking of how just like the hockey hugs, right? And
Right.
sometimes they would look at like Carlson and be like, yeah, okay, dude, like, good job or whatever. But it wasn't really a lot of embrace, and I think that has started to change a little bit. And I see a team that for whatever reason has decided to grow a spine. So again, I don't know if that's because of Gabriel kind of coming in and being like, okay, you guys are my team, and kind of dragging the others into a similar mentality,
Right.
or if it's just that they're feeling a little bit better because they've won some games. Either way, it's good to see them with a little bit more of a backbone. I would have actually liked to have seen it, because Donato got roughed up a little bit tonight in front of the net, and I would have liked to have seen the team kind of come and step up a little bit for him.
Yeah.
But
I saw the first one. He was like, okay, right, where is it? Then they started kind of roughing him up again, and then it's like, okay, that's enough. We need to come together and hashtag Teal together for sure.
yeah, and I mean, I think another guy that Chris JWS is coming in with, and want to show some love to Matt Nieto, and Matt Nieto was playing very well on that second line tonight with Hurdle and with Timo. He really, like we were talking about yesterday, really complements those two, as you have the two bulldozers and you have the quick, speedy guy who can go and get the puck for the bulldozers. You know what I mean? So it's just a good combination of foot speed, strength, vision, and adept, passing, and guys that go to the net. So I think that their playing style all complements each other. It sucks for Rudy. I don't know if he's still battling something, because I like his creativity there too.
Yeah. Uh,
Um,
from what Bugner said this morning, prior to the morning skate, was that Balsers was iffy to go today, but should be good to go Monday against Las Vegas.
I mean, but who do you bump then?
That's the thing. Is where do you insert Balsers, and do you move Nieto down despite Nieto playing well? I mean, Long Beach Native has played very well the last few games, and you have to wonder if that's a piece that gets moved at the deadline. And Nieto kind of touched on it at post game. I don't really think about the trade deadline. You don't focus on things you can't control. Whatever happens, happens. He went on to say, "I'm really finding my game. It's crazy when you just simplify and focus on the little things. It's been going well lately, and it's good to see. I think there was like so much pressure to be perfect that maybe you're simplifying things. Landy, I can't hear you though.
Are you good now, Eric?
Now I can hear you. Yeah, perfect.
Okay,
Thank you, bud.
perfect. Yeah, so I, I think so again, I just kind of reiterate, like, how are we going to continue to have uh, the same cohesiveness if you insert Rudy? And I don't know. I don't think you really mess with this lineup right now, to be honest with you. It's got some mojo for
Mhm.
whatever reason.
I mean, do you slide? I mean, Patty was on the fourth line tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Do you slide Patty to fourth line center and get Balsers in there? But then you're gonna have that line's gonna be Balsers, Patty, and Gabriel. Not exactly ideal per se, but I mean, you do probably put your best lineup out there, especially against Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so it's a good problem to have. That's definitely for sure. And it's good to see that there's competition, because I think competition on the back end has been very good for the team. I think competition in goal, in these last two games, they're kind of pushing each other a little bit, is good. And then competition for playing time, and everybody really chipping in. And I mean, once we get to that once we get to that third period, and we talk about just how the grinders, kind of came and helped out, we're seeing some growth. We're seeing some growth, and that's good.
Yeah, and you look at that, and you saw Gambrell score that his first goal this season, first one in 29 games, and to make it 3-1, Donato and Leonard on there. And what did you call them?
Yeah, I called them the collegiate line, or the and Rowe, one of my good buddies on Twitter was like, dude, you have to say all American collegiate line. So okay, I guess it's the all American collegiate line.
Yeah, Gambrell went to Denver. Donato went to Harvard, and
And
Leonard went to
Leonard
UMass.
went to UMass Amherst. Yeah, yeah. So all college hockey, and again, we talk about it. We talk about it quite often, but to see USA hockey flourishing, and to see USA hockey represented well on San Jose, hell, even California hockey for that matter, with Matt Nieto, and Chmelevski. It's good to see I have a special place in my heart for the American players, as do you. We love our Canadian boys.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
get me wrong, but it's just good to see, because we've always been the underdog, right? We've always been the underdog, the little brother to Canada, when it comes to hockey. And so when we get one up on them, that's always a good thing. Just a friendly sibling rivalry.
of course, and nothing like when the American boys fall apart, with with the with the you know shocker in the World Juniors and such. So, uh, uh, More comments coming in from Evander Kane. Guys, no, you can't get too far out of the race, especially at this point. To get back to 500 is a good step for this group. We need to gain some more ground on teams that are ahead of us. Yep, the Sharks. The it's a long way to go. If you were on Brody's YouTube channel, he kind of broke it down where the Sharks really need to win like 21 of their last 33 games to even get a shot. And Ricky, is also saying, hey, let's pump the brakes a little bit. It's not mojo. You guys are reading way too much into beating Anaheim. They aren't that good. They aren't playing good. Yeah, Anaheim hasn't won in regulation in 13 games.
But a rebuttal on this, a rebuttal on that though, is it's the first time that the Sharks have strung together 3 consecutive wins, and that's important. I don't think that we can. I don't think that you can just brush that aside. That's why I said tonight's game was a little bit more. I savored the victory a little bit more because it was a little bit closer. It was a little bit more. I saw some good growth in the goaltending from Jones for sure. And again, I think that when you take it in context, it's a good stepping stone. I think when you take it in the larger context of where you're at in the schedule, this is the time that you need to bank points. So it's good that they're doing that.
Right.
So those are good positives. Again, back to 500. We mentioned that at the top of the show, but it was something that the lead had gotten a little bit buried on that. This team is finally out of the hole that it dug itself from the beginning of the season. Now, whether or not it was too little too late, I think it's still too early to really say that until they get the meat of the schedule kind of gotten through this next part. But this next part is really going to tell us, okay, are you guys going to really walk the walk that you guys have been talking about, being more cohesive, needing to have some more structure insofar as being at home, insofar as, being having a regular schedule set and things like that? Or are you going to let the mental mistakes creep in? Are you going to let the moment kind of overwhelm you and needing to still grow?
In this team, and that's why I'm thinking why Doug Wilson didn't call it a full-on rebuild, because this team has good pieces already. It has Evander Kane, it has Erik Karlsson, it has Logan Couture. You should have, Kevin Labanc starting to come on strong now, which is nice. He scored in back-to-back games after getting benched. That's a good thing. You have Timo Meier starting to come back from injury. He needs to produce. You have the defense helping out, Jones and Dubnyk. You only, and yes, like AJ said, not to be a W down. This happened against the Ducks, not the Avs. That's the thing. You dominated them one game. You shut them down the second game. This is a confidence boost that they need to have. So when they go into the set of games that they have this week, where you have 2 games and 3 nights in Vegas against the Golden Knights, then you come home for a back-to-back with the Blues. Honestly, I don't think by this time next Saturday we'll be talking about a 7-game win streak. But if they show those spots, they can get into it, and then after that, then you have, some other ones that you can take down.
Okay, so the Blues are on a 5-game losing streak, and so you're going to get them when they're kind of a wounded animal.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be some area to make up ground, especially because they're in a playoff spot. If you can pick up both of those wins against the Blues, you've started to climb a little bit, and I think the Vegas game is going to be interesting. Look,
that's an understatement and a half, but
but I put it to you this way: if we lose against Vegas, depending on the way in which we lose, if it's like a 3-2 game and it was close, I'm not going to sweat it. And if you can come back and like I said, if you can round off 2 wins against the Blues, who are sitting in third, you've basically banked, let's see, you would bank 1, 2, 3, 4, no, so 4, 5, 6. So out of a possible 12 points, you've got 10, right? If you could do that, then you've started to maybe change the conversation a little bit. If they come back and it is a rout against Vegas, then I'm going to be like, okay, well, going into St. Louis, yeah, St. Louis is hurting, but Tarasenko can still, that kid can still play the game. So, yeah, it'll be interesting, like I said, to see where the team is at on Monday.
Yeah, and the tough part is that Vegas will be a very key opponent. You wonder if they start a backup, whether it's Oscar Dance or somebody else, because Marc-Andre Fleury has been used a lot by PDB. Apparently, the sword was able to get extracted from Fleury following the bubble. But I mean, we have comments galore saying, yes, it happened against the Ducks, but you should be happy about it. But it did happen against the Ducks, and you wouldn't be happy about it if they had lost to them. At the same time, with Vegas, you have those 2 games. St. Louis has been dominant on the road this year. It was kind of like the 2015-16 Sharks, where they were super dominant.
Road
on the
ice, road ice advantage.
So, but getting back to the game here, third period they shut it down. Yes, they had Gambrell's goal, and there have been times we saw it early on this season where they cannot hang on to a multiple goal lead, and the team played very well. Yes, you're gonna say yes, it was the Ducks and everything, but let's talk about Martin Jones. 26 saves, 27 shots, 963 save percentage. We talk about the save percentage, ad nauseum, and he has a solid performance tonight. He gets out of it in good fashion here. Again, it's a little bit of a momentum builder. Yes, it's Anaheim, but you need these games to be the game that you use as a confidence boost.
How bad did he need that win? I mean, that was the thing. I mean, I don't know how close he is to, how close he was to, going on waivers, but the team had been very, very down on him. And, again, I think winning cures a lot of ills, and this one might be, might be like the biggest person who needed that cure all.
Yeah, big time. I mean, you look at it and outside, I think maybe if Ryan Donato gets a goal, I mean the poor guy's on a schneid to end all schneids, and it's not like he isn't he isn't showing like he's like being lackadaisical. He's fighting for it. So, I just look at it like this team is starting to kind of come together to figuring things out. Yes, I'm not hoping for anything, and yes, I mean, I know Sleepy Mofo is calling my lack of lack of faith. It's not a lack of faith. It's just a realisticness that this team isn't a team that is contending for a cup. It's resetting to be that team that can be special, So we have 58 viewers here right now. If you haven't already, please tell a friend. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and the notification bell. It goes a long way. It really does. And we've been doing this for 6 seasons now, and we really appreciate each and every one of you that tune in. We're at 26 likes. Let's get it to 30 for your favorite segment. I already saw Jerry donated on Venmo for it, and we really appreciate it immensely because I think we're on a good run. Let's enjoy it. Let's embrace it, Landy. I mean, 3 wins in a row. They played well against Vegas. They won. They beat St. Louis in overtime. They have a little bit of swagger as they get on the flight to Las Vegas right now as we speak. You're muted, but
no, I know I was muted.
okay.
Yeah, no, I've been clicking the mute button. So, yeah, no. Again, it's just keep the good flow going. Again, if you show some fight, that's what I want to see from this team against Vegas, right? That's the most important thing to me is some fight, not just letting them just kind of piss all over them, So
Of showing a fight or having a fight. I mean, let's talk about this. First things first. They haven't lost since Curtis Gabriel. Well, let me go back. They haven't lost since Bugner turned 50. Curtis Gabriel is one of those tough guys, and Bugner was a tough guy when he played in this league. Is it something about having a tough guy in the lineup? I mean, obviously the focus gets away from Evander Kane to be the tough guy to do those goal scoring. I mean, look, 11 goals now on the campaign. He's gone on a 3-game goal scoring streak. I mean, it's nice to see, and it just kind of distracts him there, and it kind of gets the team in confidence, and all around, it's
Kevin
like
Labanc. And Kevin Labanc. I mean, this is another guy who I cannot stress, how much that benching did to him, and just reminding him of playing the game the right way and responding well to, his coach challenging him. Again, good signs of growth, right? That's the thing. Just good signs of growth. And you, again, use the day-by-day mentality, the game-by-game mentality, and that's how you try and travel up the mountain. We'd already tumbled back down quite a bit, and it just seemed like we were getting stuck in the mud, down at the basin.
mm-hmm.
And now you're putting one foot in front of the other, and you are, again, taking it period by period, day by day, and you're starting to see some good results. Just continue the good the good repetition, and continue with the effort being at 100%.
Right.
And it will take you a long way. It will take you a long way. Where they end up, I don't know.
Yeah.
But at least you're seeing the positive signs of growth, which is what I wanted out of this season.
Yeah. Chris mentioning a couple things as we get ready for Vegas. This team could have a fight in them and still get shredded by Vegas. Vegas is really good. This team is not. But I agree with you, Chris. But I also will say, yes, if they show fight in them, and they've played fairly well against Vegas this season, I think there would be so much for them to get that in there. Get into Vegas, and where they've played fairly well. I mean, this team has played well. But yeah, if they get smoked when they get into the sideshow BS with Vegas, yeah, that's the thing. When they get distracted because of the shenaniganery of everything, that's going to be the problem. So 21 pucks, Ruben, good to see you, my friend. A super chat donation. Of course, when you have the super chat, we'll get it on. And of course, it goes to donate, help the show and improve payment of the website and all the stuff to get all this to you. From 21 pucks, being too critical or realistic about the team makes you a fake fan. I thought we knew this already. Always be a homer at all the time. Now, come on, Ruben. First off, how dare you say such a thing? Of all people, you know better. I mean, come on. But
hey, and you know what? I mean, you know me. I can get on a good dish rant with the best of them. And again, I just, you set your expectations low going into the season. I think everybody would tell you that, and you again just want to see the signs of a team that is responding to the coaching, a team that is taking some steps with the maturity department, and just getting to play for each other again, to be put it in its most simplest form is just playing for each other again,
Right.
because it didn't look like it.
Right.
It 3, 4, 5 games ago, this team looked like a bunch of coworkers. We'll pull out the old coworkers line, Jumbo, or I can't remember. Maybe it was Logan who brought it up. I think it might have been Logan all those years ago. But
Logan, I think Jumbo had said something like a year or two ago. I remember something like that as well. So with that, we have your favorite segment. We've at 34 likes. We appreciate you. Thank you all for your donations, everything. Let's get
reach it around.
Let's reach it around. Let's get at it. Rangers shut out the Bruins 4-0. Kincaid, the backup to the backup, getting the shutout for the Rangers on this night. That go figure. In overtime, the Blue Jackets beat the Dallas Stars 4-3. Zach Zawinski with the game-winning goal with 5 seconds left. Merzel Likens with the win there.
I thought it was Merzlikins.
Was it Merzlikins? My bad. I'll wait for the response from Kevin any moment.
Kevin,
now.
yep.
And all things considered for the Dallas Stars and how Joe Pavelski is doing it. Dallas Stars have played 23 games with 22 points. The Sharks have played 25 games at 25 points. They still have some games that they got to make up, but shoot. Dallas is kind of in a little bit of a rut there right now, and it's surprising to see, to be quite honest. Pavs can't do it all. All right, he can't do it all. Even in those neon jerseys.
No, I just that's the whole thing that it has been with Pavs. It's just like every team hasn't had enough depth, and it always ends up him being the one that shoulders the majority of the load. And gosh, you would have thought Ben and Sagan would get their butts in gear, but I don't know, man. I mean, it could be Stanley Cup hangover, because quite honestly, I mean, any team that doesn't win that big shiny thing, the next year is not good. Yeah. Is not. I mean, because it's just really deflating to come all that way and not be able to make it. So
and to do this without Sagan, Ben Bishop hasn't been in the lineup. It's been Ottinger and Kudobin. I mean, they are missing some pieces there. So continue on. Calgary 3, Montreal 1. Markstrom with the victory there. Carey Price. You're starting to wonder about Carey Price in this one. I mean, who knows what's going on there for the $9 million man in Montreal. Penguins 3, Sabres nothing. The Sabres are just falling apart. Who knows how long Jack Eichel is going to be out for? Just could be adding on to the disaster for Buffalo this season. Casey DeSmith with the shutout in that one. Islanders over Devils 3-2. Varlamov with the victory there. Bellows with 2 goals. Kiefer Bellows, the USA prospect, with a couple of goals in that one. Flyers lose to the Capitals 5-4. Ovechkin gets his 10th on the season. Samsonov with the victory there. Tampa Bay doubles up on Nashville 6-3. Vasilevsky with the victory there. And of course, Panthers. There's another team that's kind of come on. I mean, we knew that they were eventually going to be good, but now they're really showing 18-5-4. They hit the 40-point mark.
Dear God, if Doug Wilson can get Sasha Barkov in some insane reality, you have really, really helped your cause. The dude is just a stud. I mean, that I'm glad that they're having success, really, because between him and the defenseman Ekblad, he's a really good kid, and I hope that he gets success down there.
Yeah. AJ, thank you, bud. In 2014, Doug Wilson used the word rebuild, called the Sharks a tomorrow team, and revealed players told them that they felt more like coworkers than teammates. That's where we found it. Thank you for that. Sabres now on a 10-game losing streak for that. In Toronto, the Jets beat the Leafs 5-2. All around a team victory for the Jets. Brossoit with the win. Go figure. Hellebuck didn't get the win in this one. Hello. With their and only Muzzin and Nylander with the goals for that. Vegas wins 5-1 over the St. Louis Blues. St. Louis is banged up. Mark Stone with 2 goals. Marc-Andre Fleury with the win. Pacioretty and Tuck each are now at 13 goals. Vancouver beats the Oilers 2-1. Koskinen was in net. Of course he was, because that's why they lose. As the Canucks, they're trying to claw their way, but they're not sure if Vancouver is going to make it. And the Oilers, they're an up and down team. We thought that they would be challenging for the Canadian division title, and they have their moments, but then they don't. Draisaitl with his 16th and a losing cause in that one. And of course, it's not a reach around unless we talk about the San Jose Barracuda.
Ooh, Barracuda!
The Barracuda were in Bakersfield for a back-to-back with the Condors. Ryan Merkley gets his first pro goal, and unfortunately it's in a losing cause because the Condors tie it up with 46 seconds, and as the penalty was expiring, the penalized player for Bakersfield comes in, skates in, scores, beats Cornernosh. Gosh. But bright side, hey, that's why they're developing.
Are they developing?
Well, it's really summer. That's the tough part. Right.
Oh God.
So they lose 4-3 in overtime. They'll play the Condors again with the second half of the back-to-back 4-game series Tuesday night at home in San Jose. So go figure. Yes, another fun fact: the Calgary Flames, remain undefeated in the Sutter 2.0 era. Daryl Sutter, Mr. Bitter Beer Face. Could he be
the troll?
Could he be the guy that gets Calgary out of the funk and back into, playoff contention? Remains to be seen, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's just, the thing is with him, he gets immediate results, but he's got a shelf life. I think it's almost like Peter DeBoer or Tortorella or Bob Artley, as he likes to say. It's just those kind of coaches that they'll get results, but at what cost? And so,
what's funny? You mentioned Bob Hartley, who was the Avs coach and also the Atlanta Thrashers coach. Bob Hartley coached Evander Kane, and Evander Kane scored his second goal on Ryan Miller tonight. It was last time he did it was New Year's Day 2010 as an Atlanta Thrasher.
Oh, beautiful segue.
I mean, rest in peace, Thrashers, but I mean, shoot. Come on. All right. So, Monday, Wednesday, Sharks are in Vegas. Stay in your hotel rooms. Not worth it. Not worth, chilling chilling at the Park MGM or wherever they're going to be staying. Huge two
Too
games.
soon. Too soon.
I'm not
dude.
going there.
Too soon.
I'm not going there. I'm not going there. That's why I have the Double Down app. You know, I'll play my Wheel of Fortune slots just on the app. But a big game, a big 2-game series, even if they aren't exactly going to be victorious, just give us a fight, give us some run. I mean, give us a run for their money. Make them worry like they did last time. They quietly came back against them and they lost in overtime on Pacioretty's overtime winner. I think they can give them a shot here. And, hey, these things, you just never know. And it would be great to get at least a split between Vegas here, Let's go get it.
Yeah, no, I think the split is what you aim for. Again, you just don't want to, like I said, even if you lose and you lose close, that's better than the alternative.
Right.
So
that will bring the end to this one, folks. Sharks win 3-1 over the Ducks. In case you missed anything and you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you join us. And remember, hit that bell. That'll notify you when we go on the air live after every game. Spotify, SoundCloud, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, always available at tealtownusa.com. Don't forget, the Pucknologists will be on tomorrow night right here on this YouTube channel at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. They'll go recap the week that was in Sharks hockey. They'll go over a lot of things, I would think, including that wonderful ESPN deal. For sure. I think that's going to be an interesting one to see down the road, how that works out. I look forward to it. But that will do it for us. Erik, Landi, as always, bud, the guy who spells his name the right way. I think I see a little hint of laundry to the left of the screen there. I don't know.
Oh, you're seeing my jacket.
I'm just saying, there's just a little bit of that on there, but good to see you, bud. Your final thoughts on where the people can find you?
Yeah, I mean, just be a pest and don't and don't submit to Vegas, and I'll be happy. And I will be watching these next 2 games with much intrigue. And as far as where you can find me, you can use my first name. That's Erik, spelled the right way, with my last name, Landi, on all the social media garbage. I'm doing some quick hits over with Ro, one of the good friends of the show, over at the Genuine Draft, San Francisco, talking all Bay Area sports, and yeah, I appreciate all the support and being on here with you, buddy.
Appreciate it, bud. I'm at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter and the Instagram. Of course, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Please hit that subscribe button. We appreciate each and every one of you. Again, Pucknologists tomorrow night at 7 p.m. with AJ Rocket and Jerk. Be on the lookout for that one.
Always a hoot.
Always a hoot. Will the conversation continue on Discord? We'll see. Be on the lookout for the link on the Twitter. So until tomorrow night for Pucknologists and Monday night following Vegas and the Sharks, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. We will see you Sunday for Pucknologists, Monday after the Sharks take down the Vegas Golden Knights. Good night, everyone.